All right, we're back. We're talking about self-myofascial release for recovery or resetting standpoint. So this is going to be done at the end of your workout or between workouts at home. Self-myofascial release for a recovery standpoint, or trying to reset the body into its normal positioning and length as far as muscle goes. It's probably actually best done immediately post-workout, where you're working at the areas that you had targeted that day, or especially right before bed. Okay? The best thing you can do is try to release or reset all of that tension to create a body that's the appropriate length and then release it. So I'm going to be showing you the lats and triceps area. Generally, I am focused on both of these areas. There's lines of fascia that run all the way up, and I think it's important not just to target one or the other, because a lot of the times the lat is going to connect onto the humerus, and that's going to cause tension in and around what we think is the tricep, but is the lat. So I think it's better to cover both as far as the recovery goes. I've got my travel roller. Now, go check out the video on guidelines, okay, talking about tripoding, talking about how much pressure. That's in the description below as far as watching that video. I think everybody needs to watch that video before they're watching these ones. And also go check out the blog where I talk about how to and why to do self-myofascial release, as well as give a product review of things like the travel roller and other products that are on the market for self-myofascial release. So what I'm going to do right now, all of my weight's on my hip and my left hand, okay, before I go into my lat. I'm going to slide down, putting the least amount of pressure that I can. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pressure on my hand. I can position myself however I want to. I'm just not going to just follow this. Okay? Be easy starting out. Now, for the lat, this is super, super important. Go palms up. Okay? If I was going to flex my lat, I would pull down. I wouldn't pull with a palms up grip. I would pull with the palms down. So if I run into a trigger point, I'm like, oh, that's really tight, and my palm was down, I may be prone to just flexing that lat, being like, oh, that's really sore. Okay? But that's going to defeat the purpose. If I cannot relax and breathe while I'm digging, okay, I'm not going to get the reset effect that I'm looking for. So, palms up when you're doing lats. Now I'm going to roll from my armpit. Again, you can play with position, how forward and backward I am. I'm going to scan. So rolling the lat. Now, the way that the lat runs, it attaches onto the arm and starts rolling into this line. So there's no lat right here, meaning that I shouldn't be rolling from my armpit all the way down into the side of my body. That's not how the line goes. Okay? So, speaking of the lat only, I'm going to be starting in my armpit. I'm going to be scanning the area. As I get about mid-ribs, I'm going to start turning myself a little bit more palms up. Now, all of my weight's on my butt, some of the weight on this palms up elbow. Okay, and I'm going to be rolling into the mid-back lat area. So, the process, I'm going to be scanning, identifying a trigger point, okay, trying to figure out its shape, its size, the way that it's running. Does it hurt more when I roll forward, backward? Does it hurt more? Or does it feel like I'm going to get more resetting if I'm digging at the trigger point this way? I'm going to dig at it. I'm trying to relax and breathe. I may do some mobilization drills. And just moving around is a good idea as long as it's not painful. Okay. Now when I've done that, I can go lower into the lat. Personally speaking, I generally don't have a lot of trigger points down here, except today. So most of my weight's on my hips. Some of it's here. I can put some pressure on the roller to help guide myself by just helping the roller. But I need to be relaxed. I need to be able to breathe. You can hear me talking. I'm calm. I'm like, ah. Okay. Tricep. A few different things to do with the tricep. Generally speaking, I like to start out by the elbow. Okay, I don't like to start in the armpit. I find it just better to go distal and go into the arm. So I want to start palms up. My hand is relaxed, so I'm not flexing down. And again, I'm scanning the area. Okay, until I reach where I had started with my lat. And then I'm going to usually restart. This is just how I like to do it. You've got to play around and find what feels best for you. And then I'm palms down. Now again, I'm not palms down in the lat, I'm palms down in the tricep. It's just going to hit a different head of the tricep in a different way. Okay? Most people I find are more trigger pointish with palms up and closer to the elbow. So if I find a trigger point, okay, so I've scanned for one, I've identified it, I'm going to see how that feels, I'm going to dig at it and breathe. Again, I've got quite a bit of weight on this hand here. some mobilization in that tricep. Okay? Feels good to move it around once I've done all that scanning and digging. So, doesn't mean you have to use a foam roller. Say if I had found a trigger point in my lat after rolling around and scanning with it, okay, what I may do is take a light tension ball, like a hockey ball or travel roller, comes with 3 acupressure balls. So once I had scanned and identified an area, I may be better off taking a ball and pinpointing that area. Just breathing. I don't even necessarily have to move if I've pinpointed it that well. And that's where you've got to learn the benefit between balls and rollers and other tools. Okay? But check out the rest of the videos in this series. Any questions, let me know. That's lats and triceps, more for recovery reasons. Thanks.